Well, that brings us now to the panel discussion number 3 for the day. The third and final panel discussion of the day. And the topic of discussion is significance of parental involvement in the education of K-12 students and discussing ways to foster strong partnership between parents and schools. As mentioned earlier, the floor will be open for question and answers once the panel discussion is finished. So as I mentioned earlier, that the floor will be open for the question and answers once the panel discussion has been completed, and you all can absolutely shoot your questions to the panelists and they would be more than happy to address them and answer them. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the North Educators Summit and Awards 2023. Before we begin the panel discussion, we would like to thank our sponsors. So this summit and event has been brought to you in association with Clip VR, powered by EDHR. Our gold partners are Sivom, Singhana Quest Plus, Decathlon and Sakura Robotics. Our associate partners are Knowledge Plus, EdTerra Adventures, Beyond School, Yellow Bus, Open Door, School Ventures and Watch Live. So thank you to all the sponsors for their support in making this event a success. And as you see on stage right now is the setup for the panel, the third and final panel discussion of the day. And it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you all to the panelists. So first up, the first panelist for this discussion, who is also the moderator for this panel discussion, is Mr. B. Anantha Krishnan, CEO of Kalorex Group of Institutions. While he comes on stage, I would give a brief intro about him. A target-oriented professional with 25 plus years of experience in techno-commercial and operational leadership roles in the field of education. Good exposure in starting and operating educational institutions right from the drawing board and establishing them into a profit venture. Expertise in K-12 joint ventures, government liaising, supplementary education programs, and SPVs at pan-Asia level. With a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage Mr. B. Anantha Krishnan. A very warm welcome to you, sir. With that, I would like to introduce the second panelist, Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia, Principal, KIIT World School, Delhi. Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia, recipient of the National Award for Education from MHRD, has a wide experience of over 30 years in the field of education. A dynamic leader to the core, she has been working tirelessly to integrate a global dimension into the curriculum. She has always envisioned KIIT as a progressive school where the students are at the helm of their learning. With a firm belief in the philosophy of karma, which is enshrined in the very roots of the organization, she has mobilized a team of like-minded, passionate people. With a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia, Principal, KIIT World School, Delhi. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. The third panelist is Mrs. Kiran Dalal, Principal, Bright Scholar, Senior Secondary School. She is the member of CBSE affiliation team, and awards in the year 2018 backed by her were Best Principal Award by the Rotary Club Sonipat, Best Teacher by Lakshmi Publications, and Best School Award in North India Merit Award by Education Today. With a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage Mrs. Kiran Dalal. The next panelist for the day is Mr. Pradeep Baba Madhok, Chairman, Dalimss Sunbeam Group of Schools. An eminent figure in the world of education and sports administration, boasting a remarkable journey that spans over 3 decades. With an unidling dedication to both learning and physical fitness, he has left an inedible mark on the education sector and the global bodybuilding community. Pradeep Baba Madhok embarked on his educational voyage at Banaras Hindu University, where he nurtured his passion for knowledge and laid the groundwork for an enduring quest for learning. Graduating with distinction, he emerged as a paragon of academic brilliance and a guiding light for aspiring scholars. Since 1992, Pradeep Baba Madhok has played a pivotal role in shaping the education landscape. With a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage Mr. Pradeep Baba Madhok. Right, last but not the least, the final panelist for this discussion, Dr. D.C. Sharma, Principal, the Punjab Public School. A distinguished figure in the realm of education, known for his exemplary leadership at the Punjab Public School, with an extensive academic background and unwavering commitment to fostering holistic learning environments, he has consistently elevated the standards of education and contributed to the development of countless young minds. A very warm welcome to you and a very warm welcome to all the panelists. And over to the moderator for this panel discussion, Mr. Anantha Krishnan B, to take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. यार म्यूजिक गलत टाइम पे प्ले करते हो. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Thank you for the second opportunity of the day. A lovely day for educators. Awards are always very pleasing to educators, isn't it? It's the result of the toil and the hard work that we put in, right? Sunshine or barish, whatever may be that. So we are there out with the kids, right? And when you receive an award at the end of the day, it feels good. So congratulations to all the awardees here, and my heartiest best wishes. So the topic of today is a very, very nice topic. Normally, आजकल जितने भी सेमिनार्स हो रहे हैं उसमें टेक के बारे में या टेक्नोलॉजी रेवोल्यूशन के बारे में ज़्यादा बातें होती है. इस तरीके की टॉपिक्स अक्सर कम दिया जाता है क्योंकि ये मुश्किलात टॉपिकों में आते हैं, राइट. पेरेंटिंग इज़ ऑलवेज अ चैलेंज एंड द टीचर पेरेंट कनेक्ट is a challenge across many institutions, right? So we have 55 plus institutions. We find a similar thing in our institutions too. But not that we are too good at it. We also are learning with the curve. So children are the core of our existence, right? They are the source of our unlimited joy, right? And we also want to excel with them each time, every time. But to sustain the feeling of joy with the children, with the parent, is a difficult task to do, right? Schools have been engaging the parent community at large for quite some time, right? In various ways, PTMs, coffee mornings. So you name them and they're there, right? But then, very pertinent questions I have for this audience here and for the educators here. आप जब एक PTM बुलाते हो, I'm coming straight away to the brass tacks question, right? आप जब एक PTM बुलाते हो, 100% attendance आता है क्या? I know, I mean, I'm aware of the answer. It's practically no everywhere. But the question is, what are you going to do? Thank you. How are you going to engage the parents? So today, I'll be bringing your attention to some specific challenges, right? Like Dr. Stoff in the earlier session spoke, fear. Fear that gets imbibed into the child's psychology and mind at a very early age. How are you going to work upon that? Is the parent who you meet at the PTM or at any of the meetings that you call them for, are they willing to talk to you about these fears? Internet addiction. Are they willing to talk to you about these problems? We as an institution, we have a habit of meeting children at our leadership level, right? So in about the last leadership summit that we had, we interacted with about 30 odd kids from classes 11th and 12th. So before I request the speakers to be putting light onto it, I would like to open the topic by saying that we happen to meet one particular child, right? This child wanted to take a humanities, right? But the parent wanted the child to do a course in management, so they made the child take up commerce, right? The child was preparing for an IIM Indore ka IPM MAT, right? A 5-year integrated program. बात करते वक्त ये पता लगा that child is very much keen on games developing, video game development, right? Daily basis पे she goes to the school. DPS जो हमारा भोपाल अहमदाबाद वाला है, it gets over at about 2:30, right? उसके बाद ये बच्चा अपने क्लासेस में जाता है because 12th में है, कॉमर्स में है, अकाउंटेंसी वगैरह कुछ क्लासेस करता है. क्लासेस में से आने के बाद बच्चा अपना स्टडी करता है बिकॉज हमारे यहाँ फ्लिप लर्निंग बहुत चलती है, अगले दिन के लिए फ्लिप लर्न करना पड़ता है. वो करने के बाद बच्चा रात को 8 साढ़े 8 बजे द चाइल्ड स्टार्ट्स प्लेइंग आफ्टर द पेरेंट्स रिटायर टू देयर रूम्स. Till 6 in the morning, the child is engaged in games. 6 to 6:30, the child sleeps, and 6:30, hurriedly she wakes up. 7:20, she in school. What do you make up of this? And when you ask her, when do you really sleep? She says, second, fourth Saturday and Sundays. The whole day I sleep. Is that the right thing to do? Are we going in the right direction? How are you? The parent doesn't know of it. I'm sorry to say, but it's our own school, the parent doesn't know of it. That came as a big time surprise to us. And I feel no shy in talking out my problems, our problems openly to you, because if you have a solution, please provide the solution to me also for our schools. So, very first question, sir, to you, Dr. Sharma. In today's world, what do you see is the first challenge that a parent faces? And how does that challenge come across to the teacher also?
Greetings to panelists and audience. What challenge parents face for the children? You see, this is very common thing, and what I want to express according to my experience. The first thing that most of the parents in present scenario, they don't have any connect and time to be spared for their children. And because of that, there's a big disconnect where children and parents, they are not able to collect socially, emotionally, as well as forget about academically, and parents feel that just paying fees, that is their responsibility, rest of the things are depending on the school. So now, in present time, schools are expected to do the parenting also. Otherwise, what I feel that parents are just like a coin with two sides. One half school we are sitting, half school parents are sitting, but condition is like this, both the sides responsibility lies on the school. So somewhere I think parenting and different aspects of the parenting, they are to be touched up. So this is the biggest gap. Rest of the things we understand that parents try to, just like in Indian mothers, not highly educated, Indian mothers love and affection, caring is भरपेट आहार, माँ का प्यार भरपेट आहार. But they don't understand that beyond food there are so much feed is required here also. So then only child can be developed as a useful and productive citizen for the society.
So how do you engage with such parents? What do you tell them?
See, sir, what we do, because not only we do, we should do. Because as a school, as an organization, and parents as a social segment, we should have some system, some ecosystem where there should be a partnership or association of the parents in school activities. Maybe we have to find out a data bank that what is the specialization of the parents, and according to their specialization, they should be invited to participate and inculcate something to the school community, basically children. Even parents are not highly educated, and according to NEP also, because this vocational education is there, so irrespective of any financial strata of the parent, if they can be involved in the school, even academic activities, experiential learning, plus we should organize few seminars, workshops, parent meeting on the different aspects of parenting, as well as maybe some sort of fest, maybe academic fest, some food fest, where there should be a very strong knitting of the parents and school. So children should understand that school and our parents, they are at the bottom of pyramid, and the child is sitting on the tip of the pyramid if it is a upright pyramid. And both will work along with so many activities and engagements, then definitely the growth of child will go up and the connect can be strengthened and the gap will be bridged up.
Very nice. Very
Thank
nice.
you, thank you.
So, Dr. Saab, if you allow me, the best part that I liked about what you said is we need to churn out the database, find out what kind of a parent is the parent, I mean, in what activities the parent involved himself or herself in, and based on that, we should engage them to interact with the students and get out a positive parenting out of it. That was a very, very nice,
I'll add one more
yeah,
thing.
please, sir.
See, in present scenario and previously also, because when we talk about education, according to me, education is misunderstood in Indian society. People think just getting marks on the report card, that is what education. But this card, what do you call these grades? They're just a pinch of salt in the dal only. It's not complete food, complete dal. So somewhere parents should also be aware, they should be sensitized that these are the different elements of education. That because our purpose is to produce a proper quality human resource. And that should be an integrated product of knowledge, skills, attitude, values. When parents will understand this thing, I think that they will also align in the objectivity of complete schooling. What we call holistic education. Not only just rote learning, degree toppers, but without competency. So maybe that grades may be little less, but they should be most competent. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. So next question I take to Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia, Principal of KIIT World School, New Delhi. Ma'am, primary years have been very challenging, right? You have grown from the level of a teacher and you've come to this level of being a principal for so many years, more than 20 years of experience that you have. You must have seen kids across the spectrum, right? जिद एक बहुत बड़ी बात होती है और आजकल पेरेंट्स बच्चों के जिद के सामने झुकी जाते हैं end of the day, right? Luckily, I have a very lovely daughter. As I already said in the last session, she goes to college and not very so demanding daughter. But even then, modern daughter है तो जिद मैं समझता हूँ क्या है, right? And single child और 2 children policy में पेरेंट भी बिजी रहता है, ज़्यादा बोल नहीं पाता है, तो जिद के आगे झुकी जाता है. उसके नतीजे स्कूल को झेलना पड़ता है at a later stage, right? Because whatever wrong or good happens in the house gets reflected in the school, right? So what do you do to inculcate good habits in the parents and tell them that please don't give away to the child's zid?
Good evening, everyone. Before I answer your specific question, Anantji, I'd like to enlighten each one of us present here. The child spends about 1,000 hours out of 8,760 hours per year within the campus of school, which is about 11% of child's existence in a year. The remaining 89% child is with the parent. Now, school is supposed to be a life changer, so we have to do parenting, and parent has to do teacher's role, a mentor's role. So, when you said zid karta hai, wo zid ghar pe karta hai, that somehow comes into the campus also, but manifestations are of different nature. But the deep down, the problems are same. When we come back to the purpose for which we are here, is it the parental interference or parental engagement or parental involvement we are talking about? I think we need to understand. To do away with parental interference and engage them, we need to take them on our side. We cannot be 2 different stakeholders. Once a child senses the parent is on one side, the school is on one side, and teachers can be manipulated, they try to misuse that gap. The school's responsibility in 21st century is to bring them on same side. Parent has to be a teacher, teacher has to be parent. Now, for example, the school's working on introducing National Education Policy 2020. We are doing away with formal evaluation, which is marks based, which is rote learning based. At home, the parent is still fixated with marks, sending a child to a parallel system called tuitions. Now, child is not listening in the classroom because he has an avenue as a third possible option, which is again a poor substitute to parental engagement. Now, because engagement is reducing, it's somewhere changing towards parental interference or parental opinion making. So they come with fixated opinion. Whatever child says in that little time parent has with child becomes a gospel for the parent, and that is where the zidbazi begins. If we want that to go away from the system, I think beyond, when you started your talk, you talked about PTM, whether attendance is 100% or not. Now we have so many areas, so many committees and essential committees like POXO, like gender sensitivity, like safety, infra safety, cyber safety. And it's important to have parents on board, not only cosmetically, but deeply engaged. They should not be participating as other side of the system, but representing us. To do away with this zidbazi, it's extremely important that parent understands the need to give quality time to children. The biggest problem we face as school leaders is parents don't play anymore with children in the evenings. They don't go to parks in the evenings. They don't play with toys. Gaming is moved to gaming on mobile phones, tablets, digital gaming. The real organic gaming is one thing every child needs, not only for physical health, but for mental health and better emotional health. So for parent to do that, it's very important parent is de-stressed, not to worry about academic content that children have to take care. School should also now rise to occasion, and we should take responsibility. Okay, we are there to take care of academic health of your child. You take care of physical health of your child. Second problem, which I see as a big time challenge, children are pampered too much. Parent takes pride. मेरा बच्चा कुछ नहीं करता, ना खाना पकाने में, ना बाजार जाने में, ना कोई भी काम करने में. If parent in the evening walks child to a vegetable vendor and buys vegetable with child can learn math there, child can learn social skills there. So children engagement through parent, and that is only possible when parent and schools strike a meaningful conversation with each other. Because nowadays, the learning is no more linear learning. Children can learn anything from digital platform. Schools where nothing, no digital platform can take care of is number one, core values, empathy being the largest. And second is to be able to innovate and arouse curiosity in a child. School's job is to make children innovate and not get fixated with fixated answers. If we start accepting, maybe, child thinks out of the box. In fact, there are no proverbial boxes anymore. Whether you're in the box or out of the box, we live with those complexes, either superiority or inferiority. Gone are the days when we talk of out of the box thinking. Let's do away with all the boxes and let children be curious to learn. And as schools, parents must also realize that open-ended answers, beyond scores, children's ability to be curious, to be able to think, if we can nurture that, engage parent instead of interfering, number क्यों नहीं आया, आधा number क्यों काट लिया.
I love this talk,
I
Dr.
think,
Sharma. I just love this talk.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, I'm so inquisitive to cut you in between like this. Three things she spoke fantastically well, right? First thing is, do you as a parent interfere? Do you involve? Third thing, what you said? Engage. Or do you engage? To give an example of all these three things, she also gave subtle examples. आप अपने बच्चे को सब्जी वाले के पास ले जाते हो क्या? बहुत प्यारा सा सवाल है ये. कितना रियलिस्टिक है. आज की डेट में सब्जियां इंस्टामार्ट से आती है. मेरे घर में तो आती है, आपके यहाँ पता नहीं, राइट? इंस्टामार्ट से आधी सब्जियां आती हैं और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा उसके ऊपर कुछ हुआ तो व्हाट्सएप पे हम सब्जी वाले को करते हैं, वो घर पे दे के जाता है. बच्चा क्या सीखेगा इसमें? हम अपने ज़माने में भिंडी तोड़ के देखा करते थे, right? You ask me how to make, if my wife makes beautiful bhindi, that's because मैं जाके तोड़ के लेके आता हूँ आज भी. वो आज के बच्चे को मालूम ही नहीं है, right? They don't recognize what is bhindi first of all, right? भिंडी और सीताफल में उनको फर्क ही नहीं दिखता, right? Because pizza से बाहर निकलेंगे तो भिंडी सीताफल में फर्क जानेंगे ना. Anyway, so this is a beautifully said, ma'am. I really appreciate. Second thing also you said is empathy is very, very important. As a parent, you need to build empathy in the child. That's the core. हम teachers को बोलते हैं to be empathetic to the needs of the children. हमें साथ में parent को भी बोलना है to be empathetic to the needs of children. I'll take this wonderful discussion further, ma'am, to you please. I have shared a couple of platforms with you. You're a very good speaker. She's a very humble lady, let me tell you that. I take the issue of pre-teens to you, ma'am, right? So you have a very, very wide experience of more than 25 years. So there is a huge gap between the parent and the teacher, the student and the teacher, and the parent and the student also, when it comes to the pre-teens, right? I would like to draw your attention on issues like exploration, self-discovery, important, of course, gaining important skills is a very important part, and forging relationships that they learn at this age, right? Parents would never talk about these things to a teacher or to a school. How do you deal with these situations?
Thank you so much, Anandji. And the three things that you are asking me, first and foremost is, greetings everyone. And I believe we are on this panel and a beautiful, in fact, we must say emotional and very important topic that we are touching upon today. Three things: teacher and parent, child and parent, and child. Again, all these relationships between teacher, child, and parent. It's a triangle that all dots need to be connected. But sometimes, not only always, but most of the times nowadays, because of this digital age that we are talking about, the screen time, the busyness, the working parents, nuclear families, there are so many issues. Because of that, children are not getting the attention which is required for them. They're not being taken care of. The emotions. In the school, the child comes, maybe dropped at the school bus stop, bus brings them, the nannies, the conductors, the didis and bhaiyas, they drop them to school. The emotional connect which is there. Believe, just see, go back to your own school times. I go back to my school times. My dadi used to take all of us hand holding and drop us to the school gate. And handed to make sure teachers should take the children. Right? We 5, 6 brothers, sisters, cousins were there. And then when we were coming back, the same scene was there. But nowadays, what's happening? Handing over the child quickly to the bus conductor or the maid. And then the child is not being taken care. The child gets down, the maid takes the child to the classroom. Right from day one, when the child comes to school, who is taking care? So that emotional connect, parent and child, and then the teacher. Who knows the best of the strengths of a child? The mother. Because the day the child is born, she was not the mother before that. That's the first relationship. There's a change in this lady, that she has become the mother for the first time, parent for the first time. The father is experiencing this for the first time. And as the child grows in the lap for initial years of development, maybe class up to age 3 or sometimes it's age 2 only, then the parent knows the strengths, the weaknesses, the emotions of this child very well. But suddenly, this detachment starts. The child has to leave this parent and go to the school. When the child goes to the school, some sort of attachment starts with the teacher. If the teacher is connecting with the child, most of the schools and most of the teachers are beautifully connecting, and it becomes a habit of the child. The child is becoming more confident with the teacher rather than the parents. At times it's happening when they are being taken care emotionally very well in the school times and within the school campus. Then how does this teacher connects? Again, the teacher shies away discussing to know the strengths of the child from the parent, from the mother also. They seldom talk. What are the likings and dislikings of this child? Is the child having some mood swings? Or the child has anxiety of separation from the mother for the first time? Small little things, concerns which are there. What type of food he likes? We give menu, most of the schools, we give them, trying to teach them that everything is important. Nutrition value of the food is very important. But do we think the child has eaten it at home first or not? We try to inculcate, we are inculcating good habits in the child. But are these good habits are already there in the child from home? So that gives the fear of the teacher and a disconnect. Rather than connection building, it starts with disconnection building. This is my opinion.
Very nice.
So-
So if I have to, in a minute, sum up what she says, she simply said feedback बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Yes.
Right? हम लोग commercially जब हम लोग कुछ करते हैं तो feedback लेते हैं. Is my service good and all that. What she says is बच्चे को अगर हमने कुछ किया तो what is the बच्चा's take of it? Have you ever connected to that? What a nice way of actually. I mean, I did not think about this till date. So at least I'll start with my daughter now. Thank you for this nice initiation, I should say. So
Thank you.
good learning, feedback लेना चाहिए. बच्चा है तो क्या हुआ? Feedback वो भी दे सकता है. उसके भी कुछ requirements होती हैं. Whether we are able to understand the child better or not. So पहले feedback लीजिए तो आपको पता लगेगा कि वो आप अपने बच्चे को कितना जानते हैं. जब आप अपने बच्चे को जानेंगे तो आप टीचर के साथ मिलकर कुछ कर पाएंगे. Right? That I think our school has to take it to all the parents. Very, very nicely said. So coming to Madhok Saab runs a group of schools in Varanasi, if I'm not wrong, Sunbeam school. I have gone to Madhok Saab, आपके स्कूल में करीब 2010 के आसपास कभी एक बार आया हूँ. मुझे अभी गंगा नहाने का बड़ा मन है. नेक्स्ट टाइम आऊँगा तो आपसे ज़रूर गुजारिश करूँगा. Right? So you can take me around there. So
always welcome.
Thank you, sir. बहुत अच्छा चेन चलाते हैं ये. काफ़ी अच्छे, I think about 8,000-9,000 students study in their group of schools in Varanasi and in around area. Madhok Saab, since you have been in this industry for quite some time, so I have some specific questions for you at the teenage level, right? Teenage, why? Because आपके पास 11th and 12th की भी schools काफ़ी सारे हैं. Relationships इस कड़ी में सबसे मुश्किल होते हैं, right? This is one time when the child doesn't feel कि मेरा मम्मी और मेरे पापा मेरे को जानते हैं या चीज़ों को जानते हैं. Like it can simply start with something like a digital addiction, right? बच्चा समझता है कि मेरे मम्मी पापा तो डिजिटाइजेशन जानते ही नहीं है, right? बहुत से घरों में होता है, right? I know it all, right? 1. 2, lack of acceptance, right? मम्मी पापा कुछ भी बोले या टीचर कुछ भी बोले सुनना नहीं है, समझना नहीं है. 3, emotional instability, right? 4, and the most important thing of today's world, satisfaction of physical needs, romance and intimacy. कोई नहीं बात करता आज की डेट में इसके बारे में. क्यों नहीं बात करते हो भाई? आपको इस बारे में क्या कहना है सर? What kind of problems and challenges do you face in these 4 situations?
सबसे पहले तो so many विद्वांस sitting here, सबको मेरा नमस्ते, good evening from Banaras, Kashi. So when I say that Banaras and Kashi, and when I hear you all sitting here, the thought that was running in my mind was that see, ये जो education system है ना, ये भी जो मैंने देखा है और खुद से experience भी किया है और अभी भी देख रहा हूँ जिस तरह, बहुत कुछ डिपेंड करता है पेरेंटिंग पे, चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी पे और टीचर साइकोलॉजी पे भी. डिपेंड्स अ लॉट ऑन द ज्योग्राफिकल सिस्टम दैट वी लिव इन. आप लोगों ने जो प्रॉब्लम्स जो बच्चों के बारे में बताया, ये दिल्ली एनसीआर मेट्रोज में और नॉर्दर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया में दिस कुड बी हैपनिंग. But see, the place where I come from, that is Eastern UP, the very thought process is very different. It's a completely different scenario. वहाँ ऐसा है ही नहीं कि पेरेंट जो है वो बच्चे की ज़िद पे आ रहा है, उसको टाइम नहीं है बच्चे के लिए, ऐसा नहीं है. बहुत अलग अलग डिफरेंट सीन्स हैं. जैसा मैंने बोला, ज्योग्राफिकल फ़र्क है, लाइक बहुत ज़्यादा फ़र्क है. लाइक इन अ प्लेस लाइक वी हैव अ स्कूल इन टांडा. अब वहाँ पे वो एनटीपीसी टांडा है साहब, पेरेंट को दे आर ऑल इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, कोई काम ही नहीं है. वो इतने ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं बच्चों के अंदर कि वो उल्टा टीचर्स पर ही क्वेश्चन उठा देते हैं कि ये तुम्हारे टीचर ने मैथ्स कराया है, ये सॉल्व कराया है, गलत कराया है, अगले दिन आके स्कूल में लड़ेंगे। इसलिए नहीं,
माधव साहब उसको डिक्टोरियल पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं। सो वो भी अपने आप में एक
so
चैलेंज है।
वैसे भी अलग हैं। फिर उसके बाद इफ़ यू कम डाउन टू द प्लेस लाइक बनारस, सो वहाँ का जो पेरेंट है, he or she themselves, they come from a village background maximum. We don't have corporates, we don't have companies, we have most of them as traders and kisans. So their thought process is so very different that there is a kind of a generations gap of thought process between the parent and the student himself. उनके बीच में ही एक बहुत बड़ा गैप है. नाउ हाउ डू वी फाइट विद दैट? सबसे पहले तो हमें वो देखना होता है. उसके लिए वी अरेंज डिफरेंट वर्कशॉप्स फॉर पेरेंट्स, फॉर मदर्स. वी इवन डू कंप्यूटर की कोचिंग फॉर मदर्स. वी ब्रिंग द फादर फॉर अ काउंसलिंग सेशन इन स्कूल कि भैया तुम यू डोंट हैव टू टॉक अब्यूसिव, you have to be submissive with your child, you know. So these are the realities of the place where you live in. There are different realities in the different places that we live in. Uske baad then we come, you know, then one more thing. I don't know, this never happens, this might not be happening in places like Delhi or the places where we are, where my friends they come from. But with our side, अगर पेरेंट को बुलाओ, उसकी काउंसलिंग करो, कुछ करो, तो भी we have to strike a balance. We cannot call them together also. साथ में बुलाओगे तो फीस की बात करने लगेंगे, फीस कम करो, बहुत है तुम्हारी. वो बच्चे को भूल जाएंगे that we have called them to teach them about how to be friendly with your kid, now how to cope up with his knowledge of artificial intelligence, how to cope up with your child who wants to pursue his passion, who wants to be an entrepreneur, who doesn't want to be a scientist or a doctor or an engineer, who wants to go out of the box. So these are the realities that we face in Eastern UP.
Very well said, sir.
ये सारी चीज़ों से लड़ते झगड़ते इतना इंटरेस्टिंग है ईस्टर्न यूपी में स्कूल चलाना. हम 28 स्कूल मेरे अंडर हैं वहाँ पे, और मैं देखता हूँ 10,000 से ज़्यादा बच्चे भी हो गए. लेकिन मैं एक चीज़ देखता हूँ, इतना इंटरेस्टिंग है कि उन बच्चों के बीच में मैं खुद उनके साथ बास्केटबॉल खेलता हूँ, वॉलीबॉल खेलता हूँ, जिम में एक्सरसाइज भी करता हूँ, उनको मोल्ड करता हूँ, यू नो, वी जस्ट इन्वॉल्व आवरसेल्फ. और बहुत से छोटे बच्चे ऐसे हैं, कनेक्ट बिल्डिंग, बहुत से छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं. कई तो मुझे डैड बुलाते हैं, तो वो घर जाके वो देहाती माँ बाप आते हैं वापस स्कूल, वो कहते हैं कि अरे भैया ये डैड कौन है? तो कहते अरे बाबू वो डैड, उनको बड़े वैसे बोलते. बिकॉज यू नो यू नीड टू कनेक्ट विद देम, बिकॉज द चिल्ड्रन देमसेल्फ दे आर गोइंग थ्रू अ उथल पुथल एट होम एंड इन सोसाइटी. So this is what we face.
Very well said, sir. 2-3 चीज़ें बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि फर्स्ट जनरेशन लर्नर्स हैं, उनके बच्चे जब आते हैं तो इनको डैड बुलाते हैं. Such a wonderful scenario, I can imagine. Second is generation gap that you spoke about between the child and the parent, right? And third is the issues of being from a different geography in the country, right? So आजकल मॉडर्न पेरेंटिंग में सर 2-3 चीज़ें अक्रॉस द कंट्री सेम है. दिस इज़ एन ओपन टॉपिक दैट आई एम आस्किंग. लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर, इफ यू परमिट. मुझे 3 बार देख चुके हैं, मैं इसीलिए अवॉइड ही कर रहा हूँ इस तरफ मुड़ना. सो आई स्टिल जस्ट लास्ट क्वेश्चन, ओपन टू द ऑडियंस एंड ओपन टू एवरीबडी हियर. सर ने जो अभी बात बोली, इसको अगर आपको, या इनफैक्ट इवन मैम ने जो बोली, या सर ने जो बोला अभी, डॉक्टर साहब ने, आप हमारे ज़माने में होता तो एक चपेट पड़ती है, दैट्स द एंड ऑफ द स्टोरी. मैं अपने पेरेंट को कभी पीटीए में नहीं लिया था. वाई? इवन बिफोर द टीचर यूज्ड टू से समथिंग, पड़ जानी है, गाल लाल हो जानी है, ठीक है. और खुद भी मारते थे और बोलते थे टीचर आप क्यों नहीं मारते उनको, मतलब उनकी भी खाओ और इनकी भी खाओ, हम जाएं कहाँ हमें पता नहीं था. तो आई नेवर यूज्ड टू टेक माय पेरेंट टू द पीटीए, राइट. वन. बट आजकल ऐसा नहीं है. today it's a difficult world. If it's a difficult world, you can't talk tough to a child, right? आप अगर ये भी नहीं बोल सकते कि यार in our times used to be like this, आप ऐसे कैसे हो, the child is not interested to even talk to you or listen to you. You can't be too hard because there are other problems. आपको दूसरे तरीके के डर पैदा होते हैं. मैं अगर बच्चे को ज़्यादा बोल दूँ तो पता नहीं क्या कर लेगा. Finishing. In such times, just one question: how do you address this kind of a problem?
May
Any
I
one of you,
please?
please.
Mr. Anant, I have a very clear way of looking at things. हमें अपने जो छोटे बच्चे seeds हैं, we have to change them, transform them to a fruit-bearing tree. अब सीड को उतना ही पानी चाहिए. अगर ज़्यादा पानी देंगे सीड गल जाएगा, ज़्यादा धूप देंगे तो वो सड़ जाएगा, अगर हम उसको ज़्यादा हवा देंगे तो उड़ जाएगा. All three are essentials for nurturing a seed to become a fruitation plant. तो उतना ही देना है. ओवर पेरेंटिंग इज़ ऑल्सो एट टाइम्स डैमेजिंग. और एक ही तरीका है कि अगर हम पेरेंट को लाइफस्टाइल अल्टरिंग की टेक्निक्स जो हम देते भी हैं, अगर हम सब लेकर के जाएं, because if parents lifestyle is happy lifestyle, parent is happy, child comes to school happily, child learns happily, school also nurtures child as a parent in happy environment, child goes back happily, we build a very positive circle which makes the entire teaching learning journey a very meaningful and a joyful one. For that, number one, training of parents. Number two, as I said in the beginning, instead of interfering, get engaged. And most important, for a parent to stop over-parenting. They do not know where to draw a line. That line has to be drawn, defined, and really adhered to. That solves all the problems.
Very nice takeaway. Last minute finalizations. Very nice takeaway. Parents are like, the parenting is like a seed. ज़्यादा protect भी नहीं करना, over-nourish भी नहीं करना, under-nourish भी नहीं करना. Lifestyle changing mechanisms बताएं parent को, जिसके ज़रिए वो अपने lifestyles को भी सुधारे और बच्चे का future lifestyles को भी सुधारे. Very well said to all of you. Thank you very much. Beautiful session. All the panelists here and the audience here. Thank you. Thank you, Anil ji, for this opportunity. Thank you, Vibhaji.
Thank you so much to all the panelists. It was indeed a very insightful session. I would now request Mr. Anil Sharma to please join us on stage to felicitate the panelists here. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all the panelists for sharing such beautiful insights.